Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
Coming to you live from the bejeweled streets of Dornegal, I'm Slidewhistle.
Yes, hello, I'm Immunization.
And it's me, Aaron, Fire Mage Extraordinaire and Horde Punching Bag. I am coming to you live from a spider hole in Ankajette. Ooh, I've got a million little creepy crawlies running all up and down my bodkin.
Got them Ashkahet lice. Ashkahet. I struggle so much saying that. Is that what it is?
Yes, Ashkahet. I know how to pronounce it. I do not know how to spell it.
I think there's an apostrophe in it.
I can assure you there's a couple J's, a few Z's, and an apostrophe. Although, at this point in the game, I guess because the raid hasn't come out yet, they're not really giving me a lot of reason to go to Ashkahet. For no particular reason, it has both the fewest amount of world quests and the most amount of reps that we need to balance while we're there.
It's by far the one I spent my least amount of time in so far, but that's mainly because I'm working from the top down on Lore Master now. So I am in Hollowfall now, so...
You're not doing your rumors out there, Aaron? You're not working with your pack?
I do what I need to do with the pack. I fly around every so often, but when it comes to discovering new sights and unveiling treasures, those tend to come before, spread a spider rumor.
That gives you the treasure.
Say that the accusator's thorax looks a little too puffy.
I mean, that one's true.
She do be putting on some LBs.
I think Ashkahet's my favorite zone out of the four. I mean, Hollowfall visually obviously is going to win, right? But you know what's kind of weird? I was getting a little sleepy in Hollowfall a little bit sometimes. I don't know, maybe it's just because it's the Zealot questing who's not the Scarlet Crusade, but they're coming, right? They got to fight them for who's holier than thou.
Is that why we like them? Because they're adjacent?
Yeah, pretty much. They're going to purify everybody.
We are a big fan of fantasy races, as admitted fantasy racists.
You know what I'm pissed about? So Darkmoon Fair is up, which still up if you're listening. Actually, is it end Saturday? I figure it out. I was getting my profession points, and I forgot that if you own a tabard of the Scarlet Flame, there's a little vendor lady, and you have to go to her and you have to put it on. But you can't just transmog it. You have to wear the actual item. And
I think if I ever had that, I definitely trashed it.
That's what happened to me, I think. Or I got it on an alt that I never would think to have it. Because I went through everyone's inventories, and I'm like, I never sell tabards. I found 42 tabards in all of my characters' banks, and not one of them was the one that I needed.
You know, it's actually funny that you mentioned that, because I also have a tab in my bank that is just tabards. I'm like, I could probably... Is there a point to hold on to all of them?
No.
Apparently this is it.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess the answer is yes, because who knows if they're going to do this bullshit again. I'm like, at this point, do I reach out to Blizzard? I'm like, hey, so I don't know which character had it. Can you tell me so I can restore it, maybe?
For all interested parties at home, I wear the Lore Master's tabard. When you've swung for the fences, there's no need to put on anything else.
Well, you know, if you take this tabard to the vendor, she sells you a Scarlet Flame tabard that's cropped, that doesn't have the little dangly bit, for 100K.
Ooh, expensive.
You know, you got to give to the church. You got to tithe a little bit. Also, for reference, Aaron, Immune did not do the campaign this week, so...
More than fair. Hey everyone, there's a cool bit of stuff that happened. Please go play the World of Warcraft.
So I was scared to start it because of what happened to Slide. You should tell them what happened to you.
The police are coming for Blizzard. They need to hire QA. They hire the QA back that they fired, because we've reached absurd levels of game-breaking stuff happening. So I was at work, and my lunch break at 11 o'clock was around the time the servers came back up. So maybe it was 10:30 they came up or whatever. I'm rushing to do the campaign. I'm not rushing, but I was running to my computer to start playing. And I'm going to the campaign, taking my time, and I get to the end, basically the last cinematic of the campaign. It's one of those beautiful, it's not just in game, it's modeled cinematics. And I'm in there doing it, and there's no audio except for and Xalatout's mouth starts to move, but no words come out. So I'm like, is this like a test run? Like, what is this? And the second her mouth opens, the cinematic cuts. It ends. I'm outside of the location I was in with characters I did not know were present because I didn't see the cinematic. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Scene? Yeah, you are literally standing outside with people drooped on the ground, characters that may or may not have been there before. Yeah, just like, does Xalatath beep at you guys? That truly was the war within.
And I'm like, this is the capstone. This is the last cinematic of the campaign that we have right now. So I had to fucking go to Wowhead. I had to click on the video. It was in lower quality than what I was watching it in on my computer. So it was that sucks. It really sucked a lot of the air out of it. And obviously with the parties that were involved who I didn't know were involved, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, come on.
Well, very funnily, they must have known how important that cutscene is, because you can catch Illyria later in Dornegal, and one of her dialogue options is like, can you tell me about what happened earlier today? And she's like, bet, you want to see it again too?
Oh, shit, really? Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, and so you can watch it in, like, your graphics quality. You don't have to go to Wowhead to see it now.
So, I guess what happened, though, is right after, like, pretty much really quickly after I had done it, I'm assuming, a bunch of other people were doing it too, because I reported that shit immediately and angrily. They took down, people were unable to access the campaign. So they knew they must have uploaded the wrong file. Like somebody fucked up. And so they took the whole thing down and nobody could access it. I'm like, why can't I do the campaign? Why can't I do the campaign? And it's because they were fixing it. So it should be fine.
Yeah, also I've been busy, but like I'll get around to it. I forget like what even was the campaign that like I didn't do last week, but I feel like it's not as monumental as like whatever y'all just saw.
Well, and it's revealed, I can't even say anything to that. Just there was lots of bug business. There was some bug business last week that I was like, this is important. But now it's like, oh, wahachi machi.
Shit. I'm really interested in where things are going. I just wish, when are we going to get there? It's going to be a while now, right? Maybe when the raid opens, I guess. Definitely when the raid opens. This is bug themed.
I have seen a lot of positive reception for this one. And it has been a very good story, in my opinion. Not overly better than other leveling experiences, but people are singing its praises. So it's very much a good note to begin with for TWW.
I saw a lot of interesting discussions about how people play WoW. Preach was making a video. He was like, players are conditioned to just mash the escape button. And I'm like, what? Maybe who? You? I mean, what are you talking about? No.
Wait, who has been conditioning people to do this is my question.
Ahoy. Ahoy gets on the forums and he's just like, just play the game. It's all about just running the keys. You can watch the videos later.
Like, yeah, like I don't know, like I can see how like players will choose to skip it, but to say that people are conditioned is weird. That just means that you're just impatient and you don't care. That's not a story problem. That's a you problem.
I mean, like, sure, I skipped the like in-game cinematics and like dungeons or something that I've seen a million times, but like, who in their right mind on the first playthrough of a new storyline and a new expansion instantly skips things like that? Like, what the fuck?
I guess a lot of people who are just trying to skip to the end really fast. And I kind of hope that they keep this pace. Maybe I don't think they're keeping early access. I think early access is not going to stick around. But I think if they keep this pace, maybe people next time will be like, we have a lot of time. I don't have to be rushing through everything because at a certain point, I can't do anything more than run heroics for gear and farm reps and stuff. So I'm just like, because like the story's good, right? Like I like this campaign a lot. I don't think it was like 1,000 times better, or maybe not even 100 times better, but it was better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at this reset, I basically just started leveling my Earthen, and I didn't do the weekly because it's different than it was last week, right?
Yeah, honestly, it kind of sent me when I logged in, and it wasn't just like a do X amount of things. It's like follow Speaker Brinth down to the deeps. And I'm like, wait, what? This is a weekly? What is that about?
Yeah, that's a new thing. Did you actually complete them?
No, I haven't even started it. I've been
I
leveling.
did. And it's
Okay.
interesting. It's an actual, like, storyline. Like, it's not just like, congratulations, champion. Here's 200 funny money on your way. It unlocked a scene that it is implied there will be more of later on.
Oh shit. Okay. Because for reference, we're recording this on a Wednesday because we're going on a trip. So we've only had 1 day of reset.
Yeah,
1 day some
these
change.
two are going to go eat whales. They're going to go throw rocks at whales on the West Coast and go eat them.
Lasagna.
Oh, whale lasagna. Yeah, sure.
I remember reading somebody was saying to do dungeons or delves to finish the quest early. Because I remember reading the quest and I was like, what is it like? Get 100 Titan rocks.
It is, yes. And I can say, I don't know about delves because I have not gone back to a delve personally. That's weekend Aaron's business. But you get 15 of them, roughly, off of every boss you kill in a dungeon. So on average, that's about 3.5 dungeons. And then you're just done.
Okay.
I think you can, I was getting some other ones from looting purple things on the ground, but those would be like 2, 4. So just run dungeons to get it done quickly.
Okay, cool. So basically, once I unlocked that campaign, I made my Earthen, I made Pumice. Bludgeon, my shaman, has cost me too much gambling money. She's in prison for God knows how long now, and Pumice is my new shaman. He's level 80 now. He's elemental, and he's beautiful, and he's rich, and he'll never lose his gambling money.
I had forgotten that Bludgeon was even shamanistic at this point. I thought she was still sitting there holding onto her old deer gear.
I mean, she was a warrior at one point, right? I mean, I feel like she's been it all. She's been a warrior, she's been a shaman, she's been a dwarf, she's been a dark iron dwarf.
She has lived a life that has spent more money of mine than I can even remember.
She's also lost every role in gambling and raid, especially the big ones.
So bad. I've never had such bad gamble. Honestly, I need to bring the druid back. That's my money winner right there. Wild Seed's got it made in spades. But yeah, I've been leveling the Earthen. Really interesting. And also, there's this hilarious, I think it's an oversight. It's got to be a bug. But if you are making a healer, I guess you don't want to make them an Earthen right now unless they fix the problem where they can't eat anything but mage food and rocks.
Oh yeah, because we need to talk about that a little bit. Like, the Earthen don't eat because they're Earthen. They're just always well fed. They always have a well fed buff, and they can change it by consuming certain gems.
You gotta-
Where does one grab these gems?
So they're Kazogar gems. But they're not just like, if you does mining discover gems?
I don't know. I don't know anything about jewel crafting or mining, honestly. So
Used to be a jewel crafter on my demon hunter, and I'm a miner right now on my shadow priest, but I don't think I've gotten gems.
I didn't know that, Slide. If you'll take a look at my Twitter profile, I have put miners DNI, so see ya, everyone. I didn't know.
Void elves are new, they'll get there eventually. But yeah, so you have to buy Kazelgar cut gems, which are jewel crafters take a regular gem and then they carve it a little bit to say, put this in a socket, or hey, eat this, Earthen, which currently costs like 5K on the auction house. So
I only ever eat the rocks that have the S thing from middle school in them. Thank goodness my jewel crafter friend hooked me up.
So I guess be a jewel crafter if you want it. So if you're resto shaman healing, you can't get your mana back unless you have a mage friend. I guess there was a vendor on beta who sold like little rocks you could eat for mana that was like, just like cheap gold, but it's not active currently on the real game. So we'll see if they add it back. He probably was tied to the audio beeping scene.
Beepanon, Beepagos, where are you? And then he's just over there in Hollowfall. Beep, beep, beep. But while we're talking about things that the Earthen need to fix, yeah, I'm coming after you, Blizzard. How come, with a million zillion new Earthen being activated this week, you decided to make your final boss from the Earthen starting area, not like groupable, it's one hit and he's done, but also 2, he has 200 health. That's like a right click guy. So I'm going through the Earthen starting zone. By the way, picked I don't answer to all the questions
What?
because I've been conditioned to just hit the escape button. You heard the YouTube man.
Boo. I used to work in the ringing deeps as a miner. I was a cog in the machine.
I also thought Sneaky Stone he wouldn't talk to the cops like that. He's too sneaky. They take away his gun, which he does not have a license for. But so I go through all of it, and it's like, you cannot escape. The curator is in the next room, and we need to beat him up. So I walk into the next room, no lie, like 37 Earthen standing around a body, and I'm like, what? Yeah, this guy shows up. He falls over, and maybe 2 to 3 Earthen are given the opportunity to leave.
I love that because they also specifically say, no Earthen has ever defeated him before to be able to leave. And you just see like everybody rushing out the door over a corpse constantly.
Yeah, it's like people were getting like mad. I was trying to get into groups because people were like, we're grouping up to get it. And then people kept denying me. So I remember one guy, I asked him, and then he like denied me and said, fuck off. And then when the curator showed up, I right-clicked, I made it in. He didn't, so I literally said, fuck you.
Oh my God.
I said, I hope you stay here all day, and I ran away.
These Earthen wake up and immediately just begin fighting each other. They're really learning the ways of Azeroth.
What's the name of their stupid buff for experience for discovering new things?
Wide-eyed wondered.
Them as soon as they open their eyes and join the fight club.
Start swinging.
I mean, I guess it's within lore, because they're like, no Earthen has ever beat him. But at the same time, the entire opening experience, other than writing your chapter book, is like, let's put you on the strength tester from the Cedar Point Fair. Oh my God, you got a 10 out of 10. How about you try the smarts meter? OMGZ, you got an 11 out of 10. You're so amazing. I guess when Magni became Mangi, he put all of his magic in these guys. So just, these are the bestest ones to ever exist.
So when early access dropped, I did the play in Dornegal. Like, what's that called? What they call the festival? No,
I have no idea what it's called.
the theater, the Dornegalian theater.
Yeah, that one. I did that pretty early, like one of the first things I did. And there was specifically like it was like talking about how a keeper. It talked about how Arcadis was the keeper and how he was freeing the Earthen from some evil guy's might, and they're like, Arcadis, you saved us, whatever. So then when I did it, like when the game launched, they changed the name Arcadis to be Keeper, or I think it was even like Mysterious Keeper.
Yes, I believe it was the Keeper. I have a question. When you originally did it and it was Arcadis, was he a big robot man, or was he like a Stony Tony, like beautiful Greek-looking man model?
He's like his regular like robot man. Like I am old robot man with funny hair.
Yeah, because they made it like he looks like Koragos or Koronos. He looks like Stony Tony now.
Well, because there's two people talking, right? There's Arcadis, or there's the Keeper, and then there's what's the other guy's
There's this
name?
other guy. The loose lore sort of being Arcadis was like, Earthen, I'm leaving Greg in charge. And then Greg like left them open to attack, so eventually we rebelled against him. And then he was like, sorry guys, I'll never do that again. Which is why they all revere Arcadis so much. Is like, he left us, but then he came back and he's been our friend forever.
So it's so weird because it's almost like they were like, oh shit, no one's supposed to know that this is Arcadis and nobody noticed. Let's change it. Well, we noticed. We saw it first. They're hiding Arcadis from us. When I was leveling my Earthen, I was doing the Discern Organon dungeon, and the one with Ironya and Arcadis, and then the Discern Organon just talk about everything about the Earthen. So I'm like, it makes sense that it's Arcadis, but why are they keeping it under wraps?
Also, it's a little awkward for you as an Earthen to be in there reading about it now. Like, it's like your story.
It's weird because they're just like, yes, we designed them. They were based off of this homunculi that we had that were doing really bad, and so we try to make them a little better. And it's like, Jesus, like I'm more than that. But also in that thing in the Discern Organon, there's a page where it's like, yeah, so sometimes they kind of go wonky, and they what's the word they use? They like have variables that cause them to change. And I asked him what happens when I change, when Earthen change, and he was like, the memory disk is missing. And I'm like, well, memory disks? Okay, so it's weird that it's all still kind of tied really directly back to like that dungeon. Someone's hiding some. I think it's Ironya. I think that bitch is still alive and she's in hiding somewhere.
You have to get the files from my cheating ex, Ironya. That skank hoe is with Neptulon now, and that's how we get Neptulon back too. You just do not understand the way his waves caress my features.
Just willed some weird fanfic into the world, and I'm excited to read it. I would read some Neptulon Ironya fanfic. Speaking of reading fanfics, we quickly before recording, we got news about the 20th anniversary World of Warcraft bonanza.
I just love how sporadic and random WoWcast is. They just come out, it's like never scheduled, never announced. They just appear every once in a while with some big news, and it's like they heard that we had to record it early, so they dropped this bomb on us. So very thankful for them. And I feel like there's a lot of cool shit in this. It's like what, a 10-minute like video cast or something?
Yeah, it was like 11 minutes. Shout out to Johnny in the Discord, which you can get to at donotrelent.com. Check that out. Johnny tipped me off. Johnny tipped me off. But yeah, it was like 11 minutes. They went through a lot of stuff. Drakthir. They announced the classes Drakthir are going to be.
Yeah, read them off for us.
Rogue, Priest, Warlock, Warrior, Mage, and another one that I don't remember because I don't have it in front of me.
I assumed since you had an article up, you had it in front of you. Never mind.
There's many articles, Wowhead. They're posting many articles about every little thing and never putting things all in one go.
So my question is, in the WoW, I didn't read the article because I was like, the dragons get to be other stuff, good for them. But I saw that when they announced it, they had a bunch of svelte elf boys as all the races. But do your dragons get to do it?
No. So true to the book is like,
so
how are you gonna fight? I don't know. I think it makes sense. Some people are mad about it, but like a lot of the abilities that the evokers do are just straight up open your mouth and laser beam comes out. Like I don't think that would look very good on a regular little elf man.
No, but I mean like warriors. What you do is you swing an axe, or you spin in a circle and swing an axe. The lizard can't do that. Only the elf can.
No. You get to. So if you're playing anything else but an evoker, you get to choose. You get to choose your business form.
That's what I was asking. I was like, there is no arcane spell that an elf has to do that the dragon couldn't.
Also, I believe the one that you forgot was priest.
Holy dragon. But yeah, it's really cool that like if you're playing another class, you can just be whatever the hell you want, which is the whole point of the business form. But I do feel like it's six both ways. Like a dragon priest is kind of fucking scary. That's some like cultist, like I feel like it's almost like Blackrock dungeon-y, right? Is that what happens in that dungeon? Never done it before, but they announced that was gonna be a thing.
I was about to say you will get a very close up a look at it when it comes back for the 20th anniversary patch. An entire patch, by the way. They said that it is not a couple weeks, it's just like months you'll be able to access this content.
Yeah, and it gives us our favorite topic. New patch numbers to memorize saying 11.0.5.
11.0.5. Yeah, okay.
11.05? Is that good enough? Is 11.05 good enough, or is that too fast?
Sounds like a time, but sure, I'm down.
Oh, Time Walking Classic Dungeons is coming, which is I get why they weren't a thing earlier because they didn't want to have to figure out how to scale those things up and down. But it is kind of weird that it took them this long to get to those.
Does it make me a bad WoW player or just dumb that like I just had assumed that Classic was involved in time walking because I don't really ever think about Classic dungeons?
I knew that it wasn't, if only because a lot of Classic dungeons are like stupid short. Because it was back in the day where it's like, oh, you cleared one? Hallelujah, that took us a week. So I'd always think like, oh, it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to kill 5 time-walking dungeons. If only I could get 5 Stormwind Stockades or 5 Ragefire Chasms. Those are like stupid quick.
Like these dungeons, like, I don't know. Yeah, like, so what do we got? Dead Mines. I remember that. Zul'Farrak. Oh, I think I remember that. We got Dire Maul, Both Wings. I don't like that one. and Stratholme 2 wings. I also don't like that one.
I feel like this is just going to end up being a time walking rotation week that I just don't want to participate in, but we'll see.
Do you remember we ran a lot of Dire Maul? I don't know if you guys remember how much Dire Maul we ran. It's the one that has all the trees down that ramp.
Of course, yes. And it very infamously has the quest giver on top of a big arch. Yes. And then to get back to her, you have to teleport out, go back, and you're running for maybe 7 minutes to find her again.
When I was leveling my Earthen, I set my dungeons to classic dungeons, and I got to do the honest to God Dire Maul run, like, because I had a quest and I wanted the XP, and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't been in Dire Maul in 8 years, and I knew exactly how to do it still. It's kind of scary. That's still in my brain.
I quite literally think the last time that I was in Dire Maul with y'all was like when we were drunk in college, and that's probably like out of necessity.
You hate Dire Maul. Immune does not like Dire Maul.
No, I know. I remember hating it.
Also, guess how the dungeon started? Nobody activated the imp. Fusili. Nobody talked to him.
The TP out, the go talk to Fusili. You gotta Fusil him like 4 times.
You're ahead of us. We ran back like idiots. And then I was like, no, we could have TP'd the minute I got there.
Trust me, I have neglected to activate Fusili many, many times in my journey. I know all the Fusil tech now.
Maybe I'm kind of excited for Dire Maul. We'll see. Just that one wing. The other one, is that the one where you can like fall off and get lost in? Or am I thinking of a different one?
The other Dire Maul, I feel like we didn't run nearly as much. The one where you're just punching ogres in the head over and over and over. Okay. I feel like Dire Maul 1... maybe that was in like the random rotation, and the other one you had to actually queue for. I don't know.
Remember, Stratholme we'd hate to get because we don't know where the fuck we're going, and tanks would just run, and we die to fucking like Timmy the Postman or whatever. Not pumped for that one. They announced Mount Mania event. We're getting closer and closer to Super Jailer Racing.
So yes, this begins the wing of just kind of throwing stuff out there. And my face never became a frown, but we drifted closer and closer to like ... line.
Well, I will say though, big change for this event is that they are not going to fucking make us fly all the way down into the caverns. Now, like, all the good shit will just be outside. So that is nice, at least.
And you can show off all your griffins outside at Mount Mania.
Oh boy, and I can turn into my favorite pet at the petting zoo.
Okay. I mean,
wait, you already are that. You just got to get on all fours. Wait, can you get on all fours in Mount Mania? Because if you can, you might win. That might be a winner in some categories.
I sure will try. But yeah, there's just a bunch of silly stuff. But the coup de grace, one of the biggest things that a lot of people are excited for, are new revamped versions of Tier 2 armor.
Oh no, I thought you were going to talk about the ice rink.
Oh, do they have an ice rink?
Yeah, they talked about this fucking ice rink for a long time for some reason. It felt like
is this real?
This is
I sort of half paid attention.
So I think your eyes probably closed after the pet corner, but one of them was like, "Ann, you can ice skate," and they put a little janky fence around this patch of ice, and there's just like 2 night elves just like, whoa, I'm slipping on it.
So stupid. but you know, whatever, I guess.
I'm about to be queen of the ice rink. I hope there's a special achievement for like survive 8 minutes without falling on your bum.
Once again, you and Running Wild are gonna be a hit. Imagine they make like a funny like I'm on all fours and I'm slipping like Scooby-Doo on the ice.
Oh, I fell on my tummy. I spin out on all fours.
Yeah, the tier 2 sets though. Are you excited for your tier 2 set? Did you get a good
Not
look
at all. I did. It's the stupid one that has you're a big humidifier with purple dust coming out of you. Whenever I see those shoulders, like, because I have the original tier 2 set shoulders at least, I'm like, oh god, how terrible. So I mean, I'm youth, I'm cool, I'm hip, wink. But like, if you're a mage and you're very nostalgic for that, good for you, I guess. But I'm like, Couldn't they done literally anything else?
You're about to get a swirly at the mage convention. Actually, I have no idea how mages feel about the set. You were describing it, and I had to pull it up to look at it, and yeah, those are fucking radiators, all right.
So let's see here. I mean, the priest one. The priest one's pretty cool.
Yeah, I always like this set. Actually, I like the colors of it at least, and it's different than other presets that we get. So I'm excited to see like what it looks like updated. Did they actually release photos of the new ones yet, or no?
Yeah, they're up on Wowhead. Let me pull it up and give us a little gap here.
And new ones include the classes that didn't exist in Classic. So Monk, Death Knight, Evoker, Demon Hunter, they too have new versions, which look a lot cooler. And that's 100% because they were made in 2024 instead of having to polish a turd, if you will.
Oh my god, the update version of the priest one? I thought the old one looked cool. This looks sick. Like, it has, like, texture. And, like, this is what they fully intended it to look like. Shit.
Yeah, I'm excited for the priest one. That's great. The evoker one is amazing. It's based off of, like, Notheris. Okay, at what point, monks, do you need to sit down and have a conversation that you are sick of getting the same hat motif constantly?
You know, if I were a monk, I would riot. Like, it's kind of ridiculous.
I don't know if you've ever seen the Grandmaster's cap from Legion. The one time we ever strayed from the rice farmer hat, it's terrible. I am fine with the big circle rice farmer hat. Please never bring us back there.
Okay, maybe you do have a point. What's up with the Demon Hunter one? Why do we got Fred's ascots tied to a little chest ring? What's going on there?
I mean, I guess that's what Illich Zaddy was wearing back in the day. You just couldn't see it because of Warcraft 3 graphics, but this is his vision.
It almost looks like it is that they just, like, forgot to take off some shirt that they had on under the mug.
Really hoping it'll look just fine, just shirtless, like it normally does. So that's cool. The Warlock one seems like it's still low texture, or is that just me? I mean, the hat looks great, don't get me wrong, but the rest of it, I'm like, that's a big stretch on that skull going down there at that dress.
Is that just because it's an undead, or?
Of course, the granddaddy of them all is the paladin one. I feel like if there's 5 people that are excited for this, 4 of them are paladins. I guess that is the set. That's even the one that even in the WoWcast, big guy on the end was like, and we're really excited for people to see the Justice set. And everyone was like, ha 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 ha, yes.
Yeah,
so yeah. I guess shout out to paladins. This was for you. The rest of us took a bum deal for you.
What's funny is that this was the only kind of hint we had that there was maybe a WoWcast coming. Was that like World of Warcraft tweeted just like a zoomed in image of the shoulder, and everyone was like, "The Judgment set, it's Judgment set." People in the comments afterwards were like, I thought this was going to be in Season of Discovery. You're not getting high-res sets in Season of Discovery. You're getting 2 pixels.
Wait, also, Season of Discovery, can't you just go and get it? Are you guys to the spot that you can just do that now? Get off your butt and just go earn Judgment set. Or are we still dealing with banana armor over there?
I don't really know what they got going on. I saw they had an update recently, and they just added some wacky and crazy things again. And I'm like, okay.
Honestly, news that it's still going on, that's new information to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now WoW is in its like crazy era again. Like, I mean, what patch just launched, right? So of course people are gonna come back and playing. But things seem packed. I saw people in services chat, which if you don't know, when you log on a new character, services flies by 1,000,000 times a second. Somebody was in there like, stop spamming, and I'm like, it's services. Like, you can tell that they came back and weren't here.
Yeah, I mean, services is turned off immediately.
We didn't get any kind of timeline for 1105, right? They just kind of said it's coming next sometime.
Well, doesn't the anniversary one always release around the same time? When is that?
They said something to the effect of, well, actually, never mind. That was about Warcraft. Warcraft, the brand's 30th anniversary will be November. I assume somewhere around there, maybe late October, November. I feel like that's when the anniversary typically is. Okay,
and it could. I'm thinking because if it's gonna be for like a couple months, like a patch cycle, it might come like sooner or later, I guess. But
I'll be excited to play it for like a week or two, and then move on.
Well, they're adding new prizes to the vendors for the Time Warp badges. So I think that's fucking gonna be juicy. Also, we did it. We spoke it into existence 3 minutes ago. The Earthen racials will be buffed.
How are they buffing them? What's the tea?
I guess the Earthen well-fed secondary stat was not as good as eating a feast. So like, because you can't eat, you just by default had worse stats. And so second, we're making Belga's gems edible to Earthen, improving their quality and greatly reducing their costs, which will surely fix the resto healing problem. So fear not, healers, eat them rocks.
Oh, also, Aaron, guess what? It was so stupid that like Earthen healers were unable to like consume like mana food besides mage table like mana buns. Like
that's what you guys were talking about earlier. Yeah, they can't even eat anything.
You should have
It
sold
wouldn't
them.
surprise me. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me if they couldn't eat like warlock food. It's like not these rocks.
Well, they're called lock rocks sometimes.
Yeah, you could eat them if you use the phrase lock rocks. But if you're a Chug and you called them cookies, it's like, sorry, Chug detected, unable to consume.
What is Nuss's warlock call? Raiders, come get your cheese. What is it? Your cheesy nachos.
It's like cheese balls or something. Yeah, he has a macro to anytime he makes a soul well, and it's that, and it's like, get on your dragon, please.
Yeah, I can't remember for the life of me, but I think I just like don't pick up on it anymore after all these years.
Speaking of Nuss, he is a part of the big bad booty dragon 35-man raiding team that we have currently accrued, meaning we're headed for Splitsville. It was your bottom boot last week, but it's becoming our Rodham reality right now.
Yeah, I hate it. I've always hated having to have two teams. The officers are currently trying to swap things around to try to make teams that make sense, but apparently one of these new people isn't even around, and they're supposedly supposed to be one of the tanks for one of the groups. So who knows what's gonna happen?
I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I think that there's going to be drop off of people. I think possible because I guess people are like brand new. Like I'm talking like brand new to World of Warcraft, which I think is much more preferable to bringing in the old crumdums that are always just like mad at us or mad at like how things are going. These people they don't know what's going on. They kind of remind me of like us when we were raiding with that New Zealand man, Australian man.
I think New Zealand, but I'm not sure.
Like one of them was like ready to raid, and then I guess that something come up. Something in real life came up apparently, so it might be something bad. I don't know. But they're like level 70 still, so we're like, oh, okay. So we got to figure out what's going on. Raiders, come get your cheese balls.
Well, hey there, sports fans. Growlina here, hacking the mainframe to give you a bit of lupine lunacy back in the middle of your show. Just because the boys have been lollygagging doesn't mean I haven't been hard at work talking to folks like my new stony friend, Pemble. I gotta ask, friend, that's an interesting take on the name. Well, you see, I am a writer as well as being an Earthen. A rock woman who is a writer. Pen, bull. A play on words, you see. Ah, yes, that's quite clever. Here I was thinking you just missed out on getting the name Pebble. A real Illidan, Illidame kind of situation. There may be something to that train of thought too, LOL. You got Pebble with one B, or Pendle over there too? I'm choosing not to answer that. Well, no shame. Sometimes you gotta bend the rules of naming conventions to suit your own needs. I'm certainly in a glass house myself here. Speaking of glass, let's burst back in unannounced and get back to the second half of the show.
Did we? No, we didn't. Have you done the Hollowfall fishing thing yet?
Well, so I got mad at the Hollowfall fishing thing because when it came about this last Saturday, the game was still glitched in that if you completed a certain Hollowfall storyline, it wasn't giving you like credit for it. So I was unable to sojourn there and finish off Kazalgar. So I started it being like, well, this seems really silly, but maybe this is very lore important. I got about halfway through and I finally looked it up. I was like, is this related? And it said no. And I said, goodbye. So no, I cast it aside.
I'm done with this shit. I don't. If it's not for something, I'm not doing it. I don't care about achievements.
It is for something, I guess. I guess it has an empty achievement. And you get Fisher coins that you can give to some sort of Fisher person. But I certainly did not get mine this week.
Overall, I feel like Hollowfall's questing and like world questing in particular is very confusing to me. But then, like, I don't know, did we talk about this last week or not? Maybe if we did, just ignore me. About how like every zone has like a world quest weekly in addition to a weekly.
Yeah, we tried to decipher some of it. I don't remember how much we talked about or which zones.
Because it also doesn't appear every single time. The server's been relaunched. The thing that happens every Tuesday that has a term that I don't know or can't remember at this moment. But that has happened, but not all 4 of them came back. I believe there is one in Ringing Deeps, and that's it for right now. But by like tomorrow, something else will be there.
Oh, I wonder if they're staggered like how emissaries used to be then, because they're kind of emissary adjacent if you think about it, because like it's doing a set amount of world quests in a zone to then do something like then get a reward.
Huh, yeah, I kind of think it might be on the world quest schedule of, what is it, like in the first half of the week there's this one, and then in the second half of the week on Friday, Thursday, I always forget how it splits.
It's like, yeah, halfway through the week, but what does that make it? Like Friday, I think? I guess? I don't know. I'm bad at world questing.
I wish I knew what was happening when, because typically Tuesday, when there's all the world quests, I go out and I do them all. And then 3 days later, yeah, it's like Ringing Deep. It's like, do 3 world quests to unlock this secret thing. But because I had done them all, there's only one here today. So I'm like, I've time gated myself by proactively doing all of the content. So do I just wait to do world quests until it's in a zone that has one of these things in it?
That's kind of weird. I didn't think about that. I guess do you have to like micromanage the timers? Like if it's gonna expire within like the day, you do those and save the longer ones for if it pops up into the zone. That's kind of annoying. What's your renown now, people? Because it's probably higher with all
roughly 10 with everyone. My Hollowfall should be higher. Last week I just did not feel like farming that dark farm zone that has 70 million world quests in it. This week it's
overwhelming.
I sat my ass down for 4 hours and I just did them. And they're not even super interesting. It's just like, collect 40 corn cobs, kill 12 frogs. But I just did it till I did them all. And they were like, we've never had an Arathi champion so strong with the light that they sat here and did all these. You're a cool guy.
My favorite was carry a heavy cog.
Carry it to the center and combine it with 8 other pieces of cog.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
Each one gives you 150 to 200 experience with them. So like, if I just keep doing that week in and week out, I should max out Arathi real quick.
Yeah, I think when I was doing it, I did as many as I could, and I still left 2 on the table because I was like, this just feels way more harder than it should be, which I guess is nice that I can just leave. Like, I don't have to do it, I guess.
Wait, you can't just tell MMO players that they can just leave and not do all the quests.
Oh, you could do that for sure. How's your key count looking? Have you done any bountiful delves yet? Or, well, Aaron, you said that you're done with delves until...
Well, I haven't done them right now. Delves are interesting and they're important content, and I'm super glad they're there. But it's definitely like 3rd or 4th on my list. Like, I want to get Sneaky Stone, my Earthen. Now that I know he has a heritage armor, I want to get him to 70 before I do any of this other stuff. But like, it's there, and I do have a fair amount of keys.
Well, luckily you only have to get him to 50 to get the heritage armor. Problem is, I don't know how you get there, I guess. Like, so like I got the quest to go to go to Dornogal and pick up your heritage armor at level 50. And I was like, okay. And so I went to the mage tower and the portal wasn't there. But I never went to the embassy I'm assuming there's a portal there to get you there but then my dungeon queue popped and I didn't get there till I was 70 when I could actually access Tornagal. It's cool. It's fine. I don't know though. I think it only kind of matches like if you have the right colored skin. Like my orange man, Pumice, he's got beautiful orange skin like Mars, the surface of Mars. And I don't feel like any of the tints of the heritage armor looked particularly good on him. Could I get an orange one maybe?
Yeah, it's interesting to me that for a race that has all of these different shades, that they don't just then make them in all of these different shades. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder I'd be interested to see what the breakdown is. Like, how many golden ones do we have? How many gray ones? Because so my guy is like black, the color black, and I don't see a lot of him going around. So I wonder, like, are most people just making them the color gray?
Maybe. I don't know. I saw a lot of Earthen early on leveling, and as I got higher and higher, I saw less and less of them. People would maybe they're getting their heritage armor and just falling off. I'm not sure. I also saw a paladin, and I don't know, like, I get that dwarves can be paladins, but an Earthen paladin feels kind of weird to me to be like that, like zealot towards the light when you just woke up and like your mom is Azeroth. I don't know. Is she the light? Is that why they're so zealotsful?
Well, this would make sense if we had a little bit of lore building like they refuse to give us. Because I could just see it being like you call upon the Titans, and then all your abilities, you just get like that weird blue mixed in with the yellow, and then we're set.
You know, I've been seeing people say that Azeroth's not a Titan, which I think is interesting, because I think we kind of threw that around, but I'm like, I don't know. I've always kind of thought that she was straight up just a Titan.
They seem to think so too in the Titan disc thing. It's just like they went to go find her, and they thought they did.
I saw an interview. I think it was Taliesin who was one talking about it. He was basically has a theory that that Azeroth's not a Titan. I forgot the reasons why. But there's an interview. He asked somebody, and she was like, "I can't tell you that." And I'm like, "Oh, that alone is already kind of weird. Just say yes, right? Why is it? Is it a debate? What is she? Is she a squid monster? Is she the fifth old god they're keeping contained?"
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them just like straight up lying about her origins or what she potentially is, just because that's what they do to people in general. They just lie if they feel like it is beneficial.
Norgannon eats hot chip, and he lies.
Be bisexual.
"Wear my beautiful shoes," he says to Aaron. Was it you that had to wear his shoes?
I had a bunch of, because he's like the mage guy. So I had his shoes, I had his ring, I had his hands. Norgannon gave me a lot of like silly things. And I remember his hands just being like cloth white gloves. And I'm like, really? That's what Norgie's wearing?
He's trying to buy you off. So when he comes and reveals he's been lying to everybody, he's like, "Well, Garlena's not mad at me, right? Right? Come on."
do you not remember my shoes? And I say, "Norgannon, look at my feet." "Oh, she's never worn shoes."
Like the daintiest little slippers you're trying to put on one toe.
"Norgannon, you didn't do your research. You created me, my lord, and you didn't know that I can't wear these." Speaking of can't wear, I can't wear fucking anything that's in the September trading post. Hey, coming at you real quick because we had a private chat about it. It's another stinky month.
Like, hey, I'll save up some more attendees. That's fine. I mean, like, literally, the only thing that somewhat kind of interests me is the like, Plunderstorm recolor set that's yellow. I mean, like, people probably don't like it because it's, I don't know, maybe it's a little weird because it's yellow, but, like, I do like it, but I don't like it enough to spend, what is it, like, 800 attendees
750, but yeah.
Yeah, so I don't like it that much. So, yeah, there will be nothing I buy from this.
Yeah, it's all pretty much just whatever. It's those Plunderstorm recolors. The Crocolisk mount. There's a yellow one I think you can buy.
Yes. So shout outs to if you complete 1,000 points, you get I think it's a gray Crocolisk with golden coins that you can ride around on. But for 600 tendies, you can get his green cousin who has doubloons. He has silver doubloons on him for 600. That would be the only thing that's like, if you like ground mounts, here's one. But in this day and age of WoW, why are you paying any sort of attention to a ground mount? You won't see him.
I guess when you're in a dungeon, like when I'm in a dungeon, I put on my ground mount rotation, but it's only for a second. Hey, the mount off, the great mount off at the anniversary event.
That's true. Come get your get your crocodiles so they can absolutely lose to my dress to impress when I pull out Running Wild for the 18th time.
Well, you see, I will be Sabrina Carpenter. And the DTI heads will eat up that reference.
Loving
A,
this.
B, C, D, E, F, U, Immune. You're going to lose to my Running Wild.
The espresso.
It's okay, y'all. It's just like a running goof that like these children that play Dress to Impress, like no matter what the theme is, there is one person that just dresses as Sabrina Carpenter.
And they win. They should win.
Wait, Gershom, do you ever do Dress to Impress? Your kids play Roblox, right? Let us know. This is for you, Gersh.
Cubby Bub is very interested in Dress to Impress. She watched a Dress to Impress streamer for a little while. I'll have to pull her in. That's how we get her back into WoW, is we bring her to the great mount off.
Has she done the transmog fight? What's that called?
Okay, well, the one that they announced for
Fight?
this one that is going to be at this event they called Fashion Frenzy, but like I think you're talking about the one that is just like in rotation every once in a while.
What's it called? Transmog
Trial
fight.
of Style.
Yes, yes.
And yes, I want to say she came in third one time, and I was like, this is dumb.
Oh,
I'm
she
mad.
never wins. Oh, well, she probably doesn't have like the repertoire of clothes, I guess.
Very true. And she doesn't have the Tauren woman who cheers for her. I bought that in 2017, and that woman is still there every time I'm there.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta farm on her account for transmog items she can wear. Hey, we can do it as a group. I think we can go in as a group. You hide party frames so she can't see it's a group, and then we'll all just vote for her to win. Then she'll be sucked in. We can trick her.
Like a child when you when you unplug the second controller, but you hand it to them and be like, "Oh, we're playing this game co-op, buddy."
Yeah, you did so good. You got a Tauren lady now. But I think now we can just move on into our top two, bottom boot, medium moot. Aaron, kick us off.
Oh god, I had to think because my medium moot related to this wonderful ending of the story. But now I need to say, you know what? I have a bottom boot.
Boo.
Wait, no. Oh, shit. Never mind. I'm casting that aside. Because you know what I had was I did, in fact, have a top toot. And it comes from very early on in this week, like Friday of last week. So I was running the PvP weekly in Hollowfall when I joined a group with the 3 Crusaders, Tiny Monk, Shadows, and Pluthera.
Okay.
And the 4 of us sat there and we battled Hordes for like actually 2.5 hours. It should not take that long when you're killing people to get the 100 fun bucks to get this, weekly over.
Wait, so why did we guys just like in like long duels where everybody kept healing? Or
Yes, that was the thing, was we were killing people, and then eventually these Hordes joined together, and it was their group versus our group, and it would go back and forth, except that they were cheating Blizzard, because so I think it was 5 versus 5 at one point, and we would kill 2 of their 5, and the other 3 would run away, and then they would like phase out.
Oh,
like,
they would
huh?
leave
And
the area just so you wouldn't. Wow.
Well, it's like I don't even know what it was, because they were Hordes. Like it was like a Torrent and like a Goblin. Even if they left the PvP area, they should have been able to still be killed. But while we were in it, they would just kind of run around, and then they would start lagging out, and then they would disappear. And then 30 seconds later, they'd be back full health to beat us up while we were recovering. And none of our guys ever left, but it's just like, I don't know what kind of lag switching they were doing, but Blizzard, they should go to the principal's office immediately.
Get George Lopez in here. Let's electrocute them on the spot.
Also, I just want to give a bonus shout out to my friend Johnny Durag. It was an undead that kept seeing me at events, and they would wave at me. And every time I would try and find them to wave at them back, and they would be gone, or I couldn't locate to wave. But Johnny, if you're a listener, this is me waving back.
Wow, you had a wave friend too. I had a wave friend in dungeons. They kept seeing me and they kept waving at me, and I waved at them. And then they scowled at me at one point when I first saw them, or when I saw them for the fourth time. And I was like, "Oh, we done waving? Like we fighting now?"
Were they also an Earthen?
No, Retina was Retina was a monk, Earthen monk. So
Well, you know what they say about the Earthen. Like, they have to fight eventually.
they wake up and transmog fight too.
Speaking of transmog fight, immunization. What is your TTBBMM? Is it transmog fight?
You know, it isn't. But I think I have a bottom boot.
Bottom boot?
I'm not fully confident on this. I mean, like, I kind of appreciate that, like, this launch has felt very, like, demure, you know? Like, I don't know if y'all feel that way, too. I just feel like it's been, like, kind of slow. And I'm just like, I want, like, to do a mythic dungeon.
Okay, I mean, your Mister hasn't done the campaign, says it feels slow. I guess it makes sense. Your main motivator isn't there, so you're not like. I think there's a lot to do, is what I feel like.
I mean, and I've been doing a lot. But, like, I just like doing, like, a key every once in a while, you know?
Want to skip the cutscenes, don't you?
You know,
You've been
I've just been
conditioned
conditioned to do so. You know, and I'm jonesing to skip a cutscene.
Let me hit
A
escape.
ghostly wheelchair exists somewhere in the world, and you have no idea why.
Ooh.
But yeah, Slidewhistle, what do you got?
I got a medium moot.
Medium.
I've been playing so much fucking WoW. Like, it's honestly disgusting. I'm glad I'm going on this trip so I can not play WoW, so I can, like, do other things. Even though I'm bringing my at work gaming laptop so I can keep up with my engineering crafting and my leatherworking crafting. I'm spinning.
It's me, the whale. I'm interested to see your characters.
Look at all my characters. Showing the whale.
Oh, pumice, you got him up so quick.
I got 3 professions I'm spinning around. I think I'm playing a Shadow Priest in Raid, but I still haven't decided. I have 5 level 80s. Any one of them can step foot into this raid. Demon Hunter, I figured it out. Feels so good again. So we'll see. Probably gonna be Squirm though.
Also, you're just insane for having 5 level 80s and one of them being a brand new Earthen. That's like crazy.
Shaman's really easy to play. It's really easy and really fun. You twirl the spaghetti and you just fire lightning.
Are you elemental or are you enhancing?
I'm Ellie right now.
Ooh, that's the one I like a lot better.
Yeah, it's because, like, I feel like whenever I want to play elemental, I want to shoot lightning bolts, but it always ends up being like lava surge builds. And now all the builds are like, don't ever press lava surge unless you have the instant cast. It's not worth it. And I'm like, that sounds good to me. I'll just electrocute a bitch every once in a while. But my bottom boot is, we get some quality assurance testers back on the fucking team, please? I feel like my success rate for the cinematics is like 1 out of 7. Like, that I had no issue on. I've had like so many without audio, so many with half audio, so many with beeping audios. Like, what are we doing?
I will say, same here. Like, I actually think maybe like 75% of my cutscenes have been broken. So yeah, that's not that great.
And like, I get it. Things can go crazy when like, oh, everyone's trying to do it at once. But I don't know. Some of these just seem like y'all did the wrong shit. You put the wrong one in. Like, why don't you just test things before you launch them just quickly? I don't know. Stupid.
Speaking of not stupid, they're not stupid. I want to mention our patrons. They include Ahoy Vince, Azarin, Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Kat, the Chimichurro Shaman. Mitch, who wants to remind everyone that Rathian isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Stop it. Stop drawing that polycule artwork I keep seeing on Twitter. Crucifix, Alternator, Saracen Hawk, Chris M, Kick Puncher, Dr. Foster, Grumpy Old Shaman, Jerome, Adorno.
I am placing blocks and shit cause I'm in the fucking Minecraft.
Losing the Patient, Gershie Super Squirt Day, Duff, Horde Pooper, Cooper, Calcus, a Dagrin Stan, Cilantro, Slidewhistle Secret Stalker, Teehee, Adam N, Vanderlyle, and Will, aka Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
Shout out to the homie patrons. We love them. And we can love you too if you join our Patreon at patreon.com/do-not-relent. Also, it's been a long time. I forgot that Spotify does ratings now. If you're listening on Spotify, just give us a rating. But rate it. I don't know. I feel like we don't say that ever, really. Have we?
I mean, I legitimately forget that it's a thing that people can do, so that's why I don't say it.
I gave a podcast 5 stars today, and I was like, oh, wait, people can give our podcast some stars if they so please, so do that.
I appreciate you keeping it humble by saying some stars. They can give my podcast 5 stars. 5 star!
What about you guys? Where are you at?
Well, you see, they could find me, Alex or Immunization, on Twitter at New Era Alex or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me, Aaron the Human, at thebigacheesy on twitters.com. Watch me play videograms at twitch.tv/AaronDNR. And you can find me playing fucking Minecraft. It's me, Jables, JB.
Whoa.
I'm here in the studio. You can ask me any question.
Where'd you get your name from?
You ever heard of peanut butter?
Yes.
It's like that. Wow.
Hi, everybody. Jables, JD. Immune, what are you going to ask Jables?
I'm just stunned that we have such a celebrity in our midst here.
Did you know that I played myself in the porn parody of School of Rock? School of Cock.
All right, Jables. I think it's time for you to get the fuck out of here. Lyndon, grab him.
Wow.
Grab him. Hit him, Lyndon. Hit him, Lyndon.
Another down! Do not relent!
I just want to clarify for anyone who watched School of Cock that the only actors portrayed were him, the principal, and his roommate.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.
In a world of podcasting, there comes a 300th episode, but once in a lifetime. In exactly 1 week, September 13th, Friday the 13th, will be DNR's 300th episode. And the following Sunday, September 15th will be the release of another pod, Do Not Relent After Dark, episode 69. The planets have aligned, and you don't want to miss the action. See you all there for the most pulse-pounding, heart-threatening episodes you've ever seen. Well, heard.
See you then, bye.